Business news. Stocks opened lower on the U.S. exchanges following a volatile week of trade. Africa 54 business correspondent Jill Malandrino joins us from NASDAQ in New York with a review of the markets and the latest business headlines in Africa this week.
Good afternoon from the NASDAQ market site in Times Square. U.S. stocks open fractionally down. We can see the S&P and the Dow down about 0.5%. The NASDAQ relatively outperforming, only down 0.3%. Not really a surprise considering the uptrend that we saw yesterday. We're trading lower on a higher dollar and oil turning down a bit. Let's turn to what made financial headlines on the continent this week. Visa has launched its M-Visa app that allows users to make purchases or transfer money on their cell phones in Kenya. Visa is in talks to roll out the product in Uganda, Tanzania, and Rwanda within 2 months and expects to have the first Nigerian bank signed up by the end of 2016. It's also in talks with South Africa. Mobile money services that allow customers to transfer funds using their phones have proved hugely popular in some parts of Africa, particularly where people have less access to traditional bank accounts. Now, this is interesting because in South Africa, mobile phone operator MTN Group has pulled the plug on its local mobile money business, saying it was not viable in a country where around 3/4 of the population already have a bank account. The annual inflation rate in Nigeria accelerated to 17.6% in August. That's up from 17.1% in July. That's according to the Statistics Office. Nigeria expects to raise $1 billion US from Eurobonds by mid-December, senior debt officials said. All borrowing is going to fund capital projects, which we all know infrastructure is really important to getting Nigeria back on its feet. Next week is going to be a real important one for African trade and business with the Africa Investor Conference on Monday at the NASDAQ market site. And Bloomberg Philanthropies and the U.S. Department of Commerce, they are going to co-host the second 2016 U.S. Africa Business Forum at the UN on Wednesday. Both events will focus on trade and investment opportunities in Africa with heads of government and business leaders in attendance. Be sure to check out the NASDAQ's Facebook Live page on Monday. I am going to be exclusively hosting African and U.S. leaders in business and investment as we go throughout the day with the Africa Investor Conference here. From the NASDAQ market site in Times Square, I'm Jill Malandrino for Africa 54.